McCoy. I want to talk about a 6'3", 220-pound player that could go both ways in college if that's what they want at USC. But his journey to USC is fascinating and fun. Bru McCoy was the number 9 athlete in the 2019 247 Sports Composite, right? Number 9 player. Number 1 athlete when we're talking about positions. And what I love most about his game is how he got his name. He goes by Bru, B-R-U, which is short for bruiser, which is a name he picked up in middle school for how he hit and how he absolutely terrorized people as an edge rusher. And that's what Nick Saban wanted him for. Nick Saban wanted him to come to Alabama to be an outside linebacker, to which Bru McCoy told everybody else, nah, coach, I'm a wide receiver. And he was a damn good one at Mater Day, where he was catching passes from, yes, Bryce Young. Now, think about that. Think about what would have happened if Bryce Young shows up and Bru McCoy's playing on defense. Bryce is like, yo, can I get Bru on offense? Probably would have happened. However, what Bru ended up doing, right, was going to USC. Because the joke was Bru had been a USC commit since he was in diapers. And he is the son of 2 phenomenal athletes. His father, Horace Jr., because Bru is Horace III, played football at Northern Illinois, and his mother played volleyball at Northern Illinois as well. They go to SoCal. He learns what he's doing. He learns what kind of a great player he is. And it rises and rises and rises. And we're watching this guy continue to make highlight reel catches and then on third down be a 4'9" edge rusher and deliver the body blow to put down schools like St. John Bosco and Cal Poly and fly across the country to get some of the best competition in the world. So he ends up at USC, but he wanted to transfer almost as soon as Cliff Kingsbury took the job at Arizona, because in the recruitment leading up to his commitment at the All-America Bowl, Cliff Kingsbury had spent the month that he was the offensive coordinator at USC visiting Bru McCoy's house on the regular, because that was that December, talking about how they were going to run the offense, how he was going to be a big part of it. You remember Michael Crabtree, you know what I can do with this air raid offense, and I would love to have you in it. And the kid reacted as if he was betrayed. He felt betrayed when Cliff Kingsbury took the job at Arizona. So what happened was USC kind of pushed him into enrolling to start his eligibility clock, so that if he wanted to go somewhere else, he'd have to go somewhere else as a transfer and not necessarily be let out of his national letter of intent. He went somewhere else anyway. He went to the University of Texas, right? And while they were going to fight the eligibility thing, he also quickly ascertained he didn't want to be at the University of Texas. He told his parents at a wedding, and his parents didn't really register it, and they were thinking, okay, my kid's 18. He's in a new space. He's never been to this space where he's been surrounded by Texans, right? He's been surrounded by a whole different culture. So they wanted to let it play out. And you know the story of Tom Herman, Sam Ehlinger going out to California to re-recruit him, Drew Maringer along with that. And it didn't take. And what we did find was Clay Helton had just left the door open for all the kids that he had committed that he recruited, including the ones that did not commit. And what we found was McCoy really wanted to be a Trojan. So he transfers back. And he is lambasted and ridiculed and made fun of in the worst ways. His parents received death threats on LinkedIn. I didn't even know y'all was over on LinkedIn. I thought y'all was all on Facebook. What are y'all doing at LinkedIn sending Horace Jr. death threats about his kid? And Texas fans, who don't represent all Texas fans, who represent a minority of Texas fans, still gave him hell. Would seek out his social media and spam it. Would speak out in ways that were ridiculous and hurtful to an 18-year-old kid who made a decision after making another decision. Cool. I always say I love to cover recruiting because the stories are so interesting and I really love them, but I'm always very clear about this one point. I don't care where a kid decides to go to school. I could care less. I am pulling for him. Go to Ohio State, USC, University of Tulsa, Oklahoma, Delta State, directional U. I don't care. I care that you're happy and you made a choice that you believe can benefit you, benefit your family, and you're going to have fun playing football. So when Bru McCoy goes to USC, I'm just going, man, this is a great story because this doesn't happen. You don't commit to a place, transfer to another place, and then transfer back to the place that you committed to, where you also enrolled. So technically you had to double transfer. Not even technically, because you did have to double transfer. And then he had to sit out the 2019 season because he got ill and just wasn't able to recover in time for USC to feel like it was worth putting him on the field, let alone burning his red shirt. So that's not what happened, right? So now going into this season, where he is without the guy that he was really wanting to play with in JT Daniels, because JT Daniels was the starting quarterback at Mater Dei before Bryce Young became the starting quarterback at Mater Dei, he's still among a tremendously talented offense, right? Because Keaton Slovis proved it to everybody last year. He's got the goods, right? In his sophomore season, I expect him to get better, especially with Graham Harrell as the offensive coordinator and really running the exact same scheme that Cliff Kingsbury was going to run. And his recommitting to to USC and getting a 3-year extension, I find to be really encouraging if you're Bru McCoy, because you know what the offense is going to be. And now with Amon-Ra St. Brown there, among others, you're probably going to be the most talented wide receiver group in the Pac-12. And you have a real opportunity to get out of the Pac-12 South and represent in the conference championship game this year. A lot of things got to go USC's way, notably defense coordinator Todd Orlando's got to flip that defense, especially after last year where he was showing up at Texas. They gave up over 450 yards and gave up more passing yards in the season than any Texas defense in the history of the sport. So we got that we got to work on. But you got Chris Steele, 5-star defense back. So, I mean, there's good reasons to be up on USC if you are up on USC. And if you're following 247 Sports team rankings, and I am, you'll know that it's a top 5 recruiting class because SC is back to recruiting like we're traditionally used to SC recruiting. As they say, the letters recruit themselves. They have 2 top 100 quarterbacks in the same class. What? That never happens. It never happens. You get one, and then you might get a kid in the top 200, right? But like Ohio State were then just to pull it off last year with Jack Miller and C.J. Stroud, but C.J. Stroud kind of came out of nowhere. This year, USC is able to do it with Jake Garcia and Miller Moss. And Miller Moss, oh yeah, he transferred to Mater Dei earlier this week, where he's going to be the 3rd consecutive quarterback to have committed, at least, to play at USC, because you'll remember that Bryce Young also committed to play at USC before flipping his commitment to Alabama because he knows what's really good and what he really wants to do, and that's get to the league as quickly as possible. And Alabama, that's what they do. It's an NFL factory. And with Steve Sarkisian being the OC, remember him at USC? Because I do. They've been pretty good, you know? And he seems to be enjoying life and that offense. Like, if he gets the reins to that offense with Devontae Smith and Jalen Waddle and Najee Harris, you get Trey Sanders back from the ACL tear last August, yeah, there's good reason to believe that they're going to be elite once again. That's the reason why I picked them to win the national championship this year. We'll see about it.